Okay. Rabotai, good morning. We are in the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Mem Vav in Halacha Aleph still. We are moving on to the next bracha that a person has to say in the morning. And this bracha, Rabotai, a person has to be able to say with a lot of kavanah. I mean, we want everything, Rabotai. This is the bracha when a person has to say it early in the morning in order to have a successful day throughout the day. The Shulchan Aruch says, Kishirchatz panav, when a person washes his face in the morning, Yivarech, he should bless the blessing of Hama'avir Shena Me'enai V'chulu. Then he should say the V'hi Ratzon V'chulu, Ad Baruch Ata Hashem Gumel Chasadim Tovim La'amo Yisrael. That's the halacha. I want to read for you this whole bracha. I want to just try to go over it with you in English, just to show you how important this bracha is. Because when it comes to brachot HaShachar, we say it very fast, without any kavanah, without any thought, not understanding how this can be beneficial for us. The first point he brings down over here, he says, whenever we say Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam hama'avir chavlei shana me'enai u'teruma me'af apai, that we bless HaKadosh Baruch Hu that He removes slumber from our eyes. He removes sleep, Rabotai, from our eyes. When you wake up in the morning, you're tired. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep. So you're thanking Hashem that He's able to remove that sleep from you, so you are able to get up and serve Him. That is number one. Number two, Rabotai, how many people, Lo'oleinu, have you guys heard of that went to sleep and never were able to get back up and say the bracha that Hashem removes the sleep? Some people sleep forever. Chas v'shalom, everything's chas v'shalom. Of course, chas v'shalom, Rabotai. Another, Rabotai, important point over here is sometimes a person is in real sleep even though he's alive. He's in the material, Rabotai, world, but he's in the spiritual slumber. He's spiritually sleeping. He doesn't understand what Torah is. He doesn't understand what mitzvot are. By them, everything is a joke. That's why when you say the bracha, that's not only that physical sleep. You want to be able to remove that filthy, Rabotai, that filth from your eyes in order to be able to see the real reward that's awaiting a person when you're doing what's supposed to get done. Now, then continues the bracha and it says, V'yiratzom lefnech Hashem Elokai v'Elokei avotai, shetargaleni b'toratecha. Rabotai, listen to this carefully. Can somebody explain to me why in the world do I have to say, Hashem, can you please accustom me to your Torah? After this, Mr. Hashem, we're going to see, you have to say the bracha of Al Divrei Torah. Why do you have to say, Hashem, can you please accustom me to your Torah? Because there are people in the world, Rabotai, that will remove you from Torah. They'll show you that Torah is not important. They can cool you down from Torah. That's why you say, Hashem, with all this that's going around me, please accustom me to your Torah, because I know it's hard. Yes, I got a question. A boy is in yeshiva learning Torah. He just started becoming, I guess, firm, started learning Torah. But he has a lot of friends that are not good friends. So the question is, should he abandon his friends and continue working on himself and learning Torah and growing and becoming a better person? Or should he help bring his friends back to Hashem? That was the debate. I told the people, I said, he has to cut off their friend. He has to cut off his friends from his life because they're going to drag him down. Some people did not want to agree with me. Some people said, no, why? Why you want to leave Jews behind? Number one, I said, nobody's leaving no Jew behind. First, the person has to bring himself back. You can't bring somebody back if you're not back. We all know, Chas v'shalom Lo'olein, that if a person has a sickness, that where it's going to the whole body, and it's either they have to amputate his leg, Chas v'shalom, and save his life, or to allow it, kill him, we know what the halacha is going to say. We know what the doctors are going to do. They're going to amputate his leg. When you have people that are not in sync with a Torah and mitzvot, Rabotai, these people you need to cut off from your life. And that's why he says over here, you have to say, shetargaleni b'toratecha, accustom me to your Torah. Then he continues and he says, same concept, attach me to your mitzvot. And so on and so on, Rabotai, he continues and he says all this bracha. If anybody has a chance, look at it into English, because this bracha, Rabotai, is very important. He continues, he says, do not bring me to sin. Do not bring me to sin against you. No test, no shame. Distance me from the evil inclination. Attach me to the good inclination. And so on and so forth. And then the bracha concludes, Baruch atah Hashem gumel chasadim. So we bless Hashem that He's the one that bestows kindness, good kindness upon the Jewish people. But it's not what you and I do. It's Hashem's chesed that He continues giving us every single day in order to continue to live and serve Him. In the Sefer Ve'elam U'Michshol, he says over there, let me read the language. Shevi Maseh Shepam Bo Lefanai HaGaon HaNetziv Echad Mimakiro. If anybody knows the NETZIV, one of the biggest poskim Rabotai, one time he brought somebody who was in his acquaintance. He told the NETZIV like this: Ashir Gadol Obal Asekim Gidolim. There was a very rich guy, very big businessman, tycoon. Vigila Lefanav Et Tzar Livavo. He told him the pain of his heart, what's bothering him. She'af al pi shukulam mechabadim oto u'metzavo hakalkali tov me'od. Even though in the outside world people honor him, his financial status, Rabotai, is billions of dollars. He has no problem. Everywhere he goes, people honor him, respect him, give him everything. Ach, Rabotai, kol ze michutz libito. All this is outside of the house. What about the house? Aval, however, he says, kishimagi libito, when he comes home, azay lo rak she'isho lo noheged bo bechavod hara'ui lo. When he comes home, not only does his wife not give him the proper honor, ela hi gam moshelet alav. She also rules over him. Can you imagine? A woman is able to overrule a guy. Ve'ena mitchashevet im dato klal. She doesn't even take what he says into consideration. She doesn't care. How could that be, Rabotai? How could that be? You have so much money, you can't control your wife.
Send her back to her mother-in-law, to your mother-in-law. That's the best thing.
So you know what he says to him? He says, "V'lachen rotzono sharav yadrich oto ketzad linhog." What was the problem? What should I do? How am I supposed to live with such a woman? The Gemara says that if your wife rules you, Rabotai, he's considered dead. Buy your place in Cooper Avenue, 49th exit, or in a Har, in the Har Mount, I don't know, in Carmel, and every buy yourself a great a plot. He's considered dead. Any chas v'shalom, Rabotai, lo aleinu. Any woman that rules over her husband, he has no life. He's considered dead man walking. Is the worst. Amar lo haravi. You listen what he told him. Ani mibosri echzeh ki beterem higati lema'alat haTorah. He said, I'm going to tell you from my own flesh. Before I came to the greatness of the Torah, bikinin hagamur lefi orki, to the complete acquisition, according to what I'm able to do. Ha'ita ishti oyenet oti, Rabotai. Listen to this carefully. He says, my wife, she used to oppose me. She used to go against me. Ve'rak la'achar shiga'ati lemalat hara'uya li, hishlimo oti. He said that only afterwards, when he was able to come and to reach that level that is fit for him, then she only completed him. Then she only started helping him. Rabotai, look what the NETZIV is saying. We think our wives are not normal. No, Rabotai, our wives are normal. So why do they go against us? Because we're still not complete. We still have not been able to serve Hashem to the fullest extent that we were supposed to. V'lachen, he said, and therefore he says, Im techabed et haTorah kira'ui. If you're going to go there and you're going to honor the Torah properly, you're going to come to daven, you're going to learn Torah, you're going to show importance to mitzvot, you're not going to speak in shul and not tell the rabbi, what's wrong with speaking in shul? Then also your wife is going to listen to you. She's going to complete, she's going to do whatever you're going to say. But Rabotai, how do you want your wife to listen to you if you don't listen to Hashem? Hashem says, you don't want to listen to me, I'll show you. I'll give you the worst enemy. I'm going to show you right now. The wife is an enemy. When she doesn't listen to you, she's your number one enemy. One time a guy said to me, he said, if you guys remember after October 7th, remember what happened with all this? And Jews started flocking to Eretz Yisrael to go fight the war from all over the world. One guy comes to me, he says, Rabbi, I'm ready to go fight the Hamas war. I said, why would you? He said, I'd rather die in the war than to live with such a wife. All jokes aside, but this is what people are going through. Nebuch, it says people are really suffering, Rabotai.
זה מזכיר לי מישהו, ישראל.
אני לא יודע איזה מישהו.
אתה מסתכל עליו.
Rabotai, he continues and he says, so he said, ולכן אם תכבד את התורה כראוי, אז אזי גם אשתך תשלים אותך. Then your wife is also going to complete you. כמו שכתוב במשלי, רבותיי, listen what's written in Mishlei. Shlomo Melech brings down, ברצות השם דרכי איש, גם אויביו ישלימו איתו. When Hashem is pleased with someone's conduct, with his actions, Rabotai, Hashem will even turn their enemies into allies. ואמרו חכמים זכרונו לברכה, אויביו, what does it mean that even Hashem is going to turn your enemies into your friends? Who is this? Who is this enemy? מה אתה חושב, אברהם? זו אשתו, this is his wife. That is your wife. When you don't, go ahead. When you don't do what Hashem wants you to, when you don't learn to, but you know, Halakha says one thing, you want to do another thing. Rabotai, your enemy, don't say anything. Don't say anything extra to the rabbi. Go ahead, you'll see your wife is going to take care of you. Your own children are going to be your enemies. What do you think? It's simple. Zo ishto, this is your wife. Ve'al yidei esek Torah, but through learning, through toiling in Torah, Adam nihir ratzui lefnei Hashem. A person is going to become pleasing before Hashem. Hashem is going to be happy with him. Rabotai, if Hashem is happy with you, u'mimela gam lefnei ishto. You should know then you're going to be pleasing before your wife. Everything in Rabotai comes down to our actions, what we do. The way you behave with Hashem, that's exactly the way your wife is going to behave with you. This is the answer, Rabotai. So when you see people that they don't value mitzvot, they don't value Torah, they don't value that, you see that they don't value. By them, it's a good minhag. You know, people have hobbies. You know, people have hobbies. Sometimes they go here, they do. Some people have hobbies as their religion. These type of people, Rabotai, you don't have to look far. Look into their house. You will see how much balagan there is. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen, Amen. Rabbi Chaim Igal, Shomer Tzaddik Baruch Hu. Lezakot Israel lefichach yirba lahem Torah u'mitzvot shenimar Adonai. Chafes l'ma'an